Hello. Wow. We're back again, aren't we? Flipping heck, I can't stay away at the moment. This is great, isn't it? Blackpool are just fantastic. If you were there last night, post in the comments. If you've seen it, post in the comments. First half, wasn't so great, to be honest. We did come back into it towards the end of the half. Well, probably from about 25 minutes, we did start to get a little bit on top of it. But second half, we were just magnificent, weren't we? 3 goals in second half, 2 goals in the space of the minute we actually, if you've watched the video, Bestie gives us the lucky chewing gum. We had the lucky chuddy, and seems to turn it all around anyway. So, Steve Bruce, that's from us. Let's just go to the comments, and and we also did we did the on-field force field as well, which kept him out on a few corners, which is always is our thing. It used to be a major thing, actually. In fact, we got so addicted to doing the on-field force field that we had to do every single corner, and sometimes even the last 5 minutes we'd be linking arms and doing the force field. But it was all in force last night. Stephen Roberts says, I guarantee every other team is thinking, oh no, not Blackpool. We do not want them at Wembley because they know they'll lose. Well, I must admit, we always, I was saying to Bestie and Pickle last night, it's just the way we do this. And that's why we're the playoff kings, because we always come with this late run. But I still don't, we're not there yet, and I'm not counting my chickens, and there's some tough games coming up. But I don't think I've seen any team so far, really, that are better than us on our day, and we are superb. When we're playing well, we are really, really good, and we're a hard team to beat, and we're proving to be a hard team to beat, but we're not always on our day. It's not always that way, and, that's the worry, isn't it? It's, can we keep this up? Because the second half was just tremendous last night. It really was. It was one of the best performances I've seen from Blackpool side in a long time, and it just kind of takes you back to Holloway days, really. I've not seen football like this since Holloway was here. It's just been amazing. Dwayne G fan says, we're right on our way. Leyton Orient lost, so that's why we're now 9th. Yes, indeed they did, but they still got a game in hand on us. If we'd have just beaten Leyton Orient, and we should have beaten Leyton Orient. I mean, it's ridiculous how we didn't beat. It's just it's indescribable how we did not beat Leyton Orient. But if we had, I really would be believing, because we'd be up level with Bolton. They'd have a game in hand on us, but I would figure that over those, they might get a draw or whatever, and I just think that, maybe a couple of draws. Nobody's in the form that Blackpool are in at the moment, and nobody's playing such commanding performances. And I noticed, in the second half, Reading were really putting us under pressure, and we were defending deep, but then we just break away so fast, and we got blocks, and we got CJ, and we got Sonny Carey, and they can all they're all pretty quick, and honestly against a towering defence we really can catch them on the break, if they start pushing forward on us, and that just played into our hands last night, I thought. Stephen Roberts says, if we don't dare to dream, what we even doing here tonight? We dreamed in 2010 and they came true. Hopefully we can dream again. Never stop believing. Well, a lot of Blackpool fans had stopped believing, especially when we lost against Leyton Orient. You would have thought that was probably the end, but I just wish there was a few more games to go. I wish there wasn't just 6 to go. I think we can win all 6, but if we play like we played in that second half, we certainly can. I'd love to beat Wrexham. So honestly, so much I want to. Joe Bottomley, hello Joe. The last 2 home games have had the best atmosphere for a good year or so. Yes, indeed. It's felt like Bloomfield Road, hasn't it? It's felt, the noise, and really it was disappointing. The crowd was disappointing last night. I thought there'd been more there. I think a lot of people have given up, and Tuesday nights, we're not good on Tuesday nights, are we? We are, we often play bad on a Tuesday night. Maybe people thinking it's going to be after the Lord Mayor's show and we're going to put one of those performances on. And for the first 20 minutes we were a little bit worried. Reading seemed to be on top of us. They weren't creating stuff, but we were just not on song, and then all of a sudden we just became on song, didn't we? We're fantastic. Carl the Seasider. Hello, Carl the Seasider. Evening, Lee. Absolutely, yes, we can dare to dream, especially if we can keep this level of performance up. Defence has improved massively. Had to stop, doing us on many goals. Had to stop doing us on my goals galore accers. Yeah, because we weren't we? We were just too easy to score against. And Steve Bruce knows that. He's not daft, and he is shoring it up. I'm surprised, the husband's come in and he's been so, he's been brilliant, really, hasn't he? By the way, if you've just joined the stream, you've never been on one before, you can comment in the comments and I will talk to you as much as I can. We've got some videos to show you because on X, Blackpool put some great stuff. I was actually speaking to George, it's Ramos last night, because he was sat just down the south end, and I'd never noticed him before, really. And I was just saying what a good job he's doing with these different angles. So, yeah, YouTubers, we know about filming, that's the thing. Yeah, they have been good performances, Joe, absolutely. James Ward Joinery. Hello, James Ward. How you doing? He says, hi, mate. How well about that then? Great game. Yeah, it was. It was. Were you there? Were you all there, or were you watching it, on Sky or whatever? I don't know if it was on Sky. Tommy97. Good evening, Lee. Thomas here. Steve Bruce has changed his team, and it's great to see every player playing for the shirt. Playoffs here we come. I believe it. Is that Thomas Piano playing Thomas? You'll have to let me know if it is. Tommy97. Stephen Roberts says, I like the fact that it's in our own hands. We just keep doing our thing by game. I hate depending on others doing us a favour. That's when it gets silly. It's not in our hands, though, Steve. Where are you getting? It's in our hands. It's not. One thing it isn't is in our hands. Teams have got teams have got games in hand on us. Bolton have got a game in hand on us. They're 3 points in front of us. That was we could have done without that win. To be honest, winning in the 90+2 for Bolton was a shame, because it was 0-0 right till then, and that would have been good. But even so, we're still behind Bolton, and they've got 7 games and we've got 6, and there's only 6. You know what I mean? It's getting tighter now. I wish we were just that little bit closer. Jerry H just scored against Preston. Good. Yeah, go on, Jerry. Terrorise the numbers, absolutely. Now you watch it on TV at home. Kids too tired. Save the penny, as he says, Halls next week. Well, that's it. Yeah, we've only got so much, and you've got a bit of a travel, haven't you, to come. So at this rate, we could be in the playoffs after the Stevenage game. We could. We could, and that changes the whole dynamic of it all, doesn't it? Let's have a look at some videos. Let's just show you some videos. Oh, right, okay. Tommy, yes, it is Tommy. Thomas, I loved your piano version of the piece you played for the Blackpool and the Oysons. Yeah, indeed. I have to tell you how to do that sort of thing. It's easy. I know you're classically trained and all that, and I just fumble around, but playing on the 1625 is easy. Right, I'll just let's have a look at Steve Bruce. Let me just find him. I had him all lined up somewhere. What have I done with him? He's not there. Is he on that one? Nope. There's a Steve Bruce interview. I did have it. Let me just find it. It's eluding me as it uses. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's. Oh, where's it gone? Technology drives me mental, it does. I mean, I had it all set up. I had it all lined up. Where on earth? Oh, yes, there. Oh, it's there because it's gone black. Right, okay, let's have a look at Stevie Bruce, his interview, and let's see if this works. Let's put him on.
Oh, fair play to the players. I was contemplating, do we freshen up, and another game coming round there, especially after the intensity of a big derby on Saturday. But the energy they've showed, the commitment, the desire to get the result, the way they played second half, absolutely delighted for them, and it gives us a chance, doesn't it? I believe in our history. We're decent coming from afar, so we've made up big, huge grounds in the last 4 or 5 weeks in particular, and give ourselves a chance with 6 games to go and all to play for.
As you say, second half really to be proud of. Are you really pleased with how the second so dangerous going forward?
Second half, we could have scored 5 or 6, couldn't we? We looked very, very good in transition when we turned the ball over. We've got people when they're chasing the game like they were. People like CJ come on and Bloxham come on, and the energy of Carey, and we looked. I'm absolutely delighted what we've done in the last week.
And you mentioned before the game they've got some really exciting young players, but they really didn't threaten throughout the night.
Yeah, I think defensively we had to be good. We were good, and as I said all along now, since Christmas really, we look a threat up the top end of the pitch was the most important. You wouldn't like to play against us. We've got some pace in wide areas. We've got a physical threat. Pleased.
And that's now double figures for Sonny Carey as well, who looks a real threat out wide.
Wow. Is he double figures? Wow. Consider he's missed 2-3 months of the season. He's absolutely playing very, very well at the minute. I'm delighted with him. And he's getting his rewards.
And that's now 5 wins out of the last 6 league games as well. And momentum's a big thing in sport, particularly this.
Yeah, and that blooming one where we got beat here, we never deserved that. How we lost that one is beyond me. But I've been quietly saying it since the turn of the year. The big changes we made in January, big calls, and fair play to the people behind me. You know, Chief Scout, Dino and Downsy have worked very, very hard to bring in the people that we have. And we made some big calls, letting 3, 4, 5 experienced players go. So at the moment, we've done well.
And finally, with 6 games to go, is it just a case of focusing on your own?
Yeah.
Not worrying about it outside?
Get ready. You know, can we find the energy to go to Rotherham? They've had a good result today. Never easy going there, that's for sure. So let's see what we can do.
He's not daft, is he, Steve Bruce? I tell you, he says it exactly. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, you just like watch him and you just think, yeah, that's exactly what I think. I mean, he said it could have been 5 goals. It could easily have been 5 goals second half. We were that good. He's also mentioned it's never easy going to Rotherham, and it is never easy going to Rotherham. I don't like going to Rotherham. In fact, I'm not going because they don't like YouTube vloggers. That's one thing they don't like. Anybody with a camera, they certainly don't like. They've got jobs with stewards that just give you aggravation. It's just not a pleasant. It's not a pleasant place to go, if I'm being honest. And we never win there. I think the last time we won there is 1996. So this will be. If we win at Rotherham, I think I will really be believing that we can do this, because this is, for me, this is the massive game, this Rotherham game away, because it's just our hardest game to ever win. It's so hard for us for some unknown reason. We can never seem to beat this team. And so, like Steve was saying, they got the result, they've got rid of the manager, who I can't stand anyway, but flipping heck, Yes, Peter Donnelly says he just gets the club, doesn't he? Yes, indeed he does. And, he was talking about, they did get rid of some experienced players in January, which some of them I wasn't too sure about really that they did, but they did. They brought some great players in Ennis and Bloxham in particular, and those 2 players, it's incredible. I mean, I know Ennis is only on loan, but my God, he's a good player. And these players like Fletcher and Ennis, they just tire them out, and then you come on. They tire them out, and then CJ and Bloxham come on for the last half an hour. You'd be like, oh my God, because they have got pace, and Sonny Carey just can seem to run. He can do 90 minutes, no bother, can't he? His engine's incredible. Cal Seaside says, Ollie Casey has come on leaps and bounds since Bruce came in. Yes, indeed he has. He's looking a quality, isn't he? Quality player. We'll see his goal later as well from a different angle. All these things that I show you, by the way, these videos are on X. So, they're for public use. So, it's great, isn't it? It's good. And he has Sonny Carey playing like a Premier League standard player. Indeed he is. And the trouble is now, because Carey is banging in goals for fun, they don't mark him. They don't pick him up because they're concentrating too much on Fletcher and Ennis. And Sonny Carey is it's like free roving role, hasn't he? And he just seems to just pop up everywhere. And, 2 goals again last night. It's because he's just unmarked. They can't mark them all, can they? Yeah, you're right. I was right. Hi, George. Yeah, Blackpool have not beaten Rotherham in any game since 1997 in any competition. Yeah, I thought it was 1996. But anyway, since 1997. So they are a bit of a bogey side for us. Gary Cruncher says, hello, pal. Lee Charles. Hello, Gary with a double R. Yeah, I've just said that. Yeah, so, well, they have, haven't they? They had a good result last night, Steve Bruce was saying. So, yeah, they have. They got rid of that bloody Steve Evans, who I can't stand. But anyway, let's go back. Let's have a look what else we can show you. I think we'll. Is this? I think this one is. I think this one is the opening goal. I think this is the Sonny Carey goal. I'm pretty sure it is. If it isn't, it'll be some other goal. Anyway, let's just see this from it's Ramos's camera from his angle, which I absolutely love. Right, here we go. Oh no. Yeah. Well, it was Sonny Carey's goal. It was the last one, unfortunately. But honestly, how good is that? Could you get any better than that? I mean, it's just a great angle, isn't it? The North Stand is just like awesome. You know, seeing the North Stand bouncing is unbelievable. And what a goal to finish it off as well. You know, we had a couple of chances, but he really was superb. And that was the goal to like just end it, wasn't it, last night? Game over, as I said on my video. It truly was. Glad to see that you're good as well, Gary. Really good. James Wood Joinery says, yeah, it's a great tactic, isn't it? Yeah. Tire them out and then bring CJ and blocks them on. It works, doesn't it? Because once they come on, especially if a team, you know, is trying to get back at us like they were, weren't they? They were pushing to try and get a goal to get themselves back in the game. We're on that, you know, that scoreline that Bestie always says is the worst scoreline in football, which is 2-0. And because he says that, I'm always nervous about it because Bestie's, you know, mentioned that it's the worst score in football. That I'm always a bit nervous about. My nerves are jangling, but when they start putting the pressure on, they are susceptible to us breaking away. And if we do get it out of defence and do find CJ or Bloxham, you know, they are really good. I mean, Bloxham should have scored, shouldn't he, really? I mean, he did all the work himself. He managed to ride a tackle, and then he got himself through, and then the ball came back to him, he put it over the bar. But even so, it's just, you know, you want it down that end near the end. You don't want it coming at you all the time. And it's great because they can't, you know, they've got to be careful. They can't really push at us too much, you know, can they? They can't. Because we're gonna hit them on the counter, and so they're trying to get a goal back. But and the more managers see that we can do that, the more fear there is that they can't really push forward at us. It's just brilliant. Honestly, we are playing really, really well. I wouldn't like to be playing Blackpool at the moment. We've got too many weapons in the team, haven't we? You know, that can hurt you. Fletcher can hurt you. Ennis can hurt you. Apter can hurt you. Bloxham can hurt you. Sonny Carey can hurt you. Even Coulson. You know, even Coulson had a few chances. It was a penalty. Well, I think it was a foul. I think it was in. Pickle thought it might just be on the line, but I spoke to somebody a bit further across at half time, and they could see it better than us, you know, because we're a bit to the left of the goal, but they said it was just inside. It was a penalty, and that's why he didn't give it, but it took him. Cal the Seasider says, Harry Tyra is looking like a proper goalkeeper now, assured and a lot more commanding, especially coming to collect high balls. Yeah, he don't punch anymore, does he? I did say that on the video. He's just not punching anymore. He's just coming and he's getting them, and that's, you know, it makes all the difference, doesn't it? If he can come out, he's confident, he just picks them up in the air. He's a tall lad, you know, he can rise above everybody else. And, you know, with that, he nearly got, actually, you know, they hit the post in the last second of the game, didn't they? Why do you think he's not starting, Blocko? Injury or just for that tactic? He nearly got a hat-trick last night. I know he did nearly get a hat-trick, didn't he, in his cameo role? But I just think at the moment, and I think Bruce is one of those managers that if he's got a winning team, he will stick with it, which, you know, your dad will have said it, and my dad said it, and your granddad will have said it, and everybody said it. You know, you stick with a winning team and let them worry about you. And that's what I hated about Critch. You know, Critch won. I actually really loved him. I thought he was a great manager, but this bloody chopping and changing and tinkering around with it when we were, you know, and dropping players that, you know, get into form. You can see, you know, Bestie's saying it. You can see with Coulson how he's getting better and better, because Bestie was saying he didn't. I like Coulson, but he wasn't really too keen on him. But he's had a run, hasn't he, of about 10 games, and you can see he's getting more confident. He's dangerous coming down that left side, and Bestie's eating his words really. And he did say last night, yeah, this Coulson's looking a really good player, and he was saying to justify it that it's because he's got a run in the team. You know, that he's becoming a good player. And I thought he did look great last night. Sonny Carey is just like unplayable at the moment, isn't he? I mean, God, he probably won't sign now after all these years, but we've got him playing in a position where if he had a big long contract, we would be selling him for which is what I said to Jane when he came out on the pitch in that pre-season friendly. I can't remember, it was about 3 years ago, when I can't remember who we were playing. It was in pre-season, Bloomfield Road. I watched him playing for about 20 minutes. I said, bloody hell, this lad's amazing. You know what I mean? I said, this lad's going to go for more money. You know, this lad has the potential to go for the most money that we ever sell a player for. But for some reason, we've let his contract run down, haven't we? And he still hasn't signed. And I'm not sure he will. It's just it's sad if he doesn't. James Ward Joinery says Coulson was on fire last night. He just has skill and pace. He did really well. For me, he was man of the match. The more he plays, the better he is. I totally agree. And I have this conversation with Pickle and Bestie all the time because Coulson's dad messaged me before. Well, he said he'd been waiting to message me until he got the nod that because he had to keep quiet. But he just said, look, just to let you know, I was looking for like a vlogger or something. I found you, and I just wanted to let you know that he's my lad. You know what I mean? And he's a good player if you look after him. And so I've always kind of been looking out for him since then. And he did say that he got himself in Middlesbrough. And he was doing really, really well. And then they changed the manager, and the new manager dropped him and just never played him. And he just fell. His career just fell apart. And obviously as a dad, that would be a shame, wouldn't it? You've been watching him all, you know how good he is. You'll have watched him since he was a little kid, so he knows how good he is. And he was really, upset. And and then as I've talked to him a few times, and he said how much he's loving his time here, and if he's getting regular. And I actually think he's a better left back than Husband, if I'm being honest. I think Husband is probably better as a centre half because you don't have to be as quick as a centre half. You just got to have good. You saw how good, Mad Uncle Richard was as a centre half. He wasn't fast, but his positional play was amazing. And and he reads the game. And I think Husband does, and I think he's excelling as a centre half more than a left back. And I think Coulson's just a great left back. Right, let's have a look if I can find. Let's have a look. The goals. Oh, I like these. Now these are another thing that I really like, and these are the player reactions after the games. So again, this is on X, so you can see it for yourself if you want. But let's just see the players, their reaction to the win last night. It's only 57 seconds long, but it's magical. It's magic.
Smash. Straight in there. Not feeling. Let's see the camera. Yeah. It's a black eye in the morning, that, innit?
Hey up, son. How are we, son? Go on, John. I told you this on Saturday, didn't I? Signed at Leeds as a forward. Obviously, I've still got it. You can see. Yeah. Obviously, I've got the creativeness as well because I got assists Saturday. So yeah, I can do it all. Really. Thanks.
I want this man to be no more.
Tight angle, left foot. 0-0 at the time, so just got to keep it going, haven't we?
Yeah, that's not his favourite. He likes the beef noodles,
I like the chicken beef.
How good are those? I mean, how good are those? They're just wonderful, aren't they? I mean, every credit to to the media team for those. I just love those. I love Casey saying, I've been a striker at Leeds. I told you, I've still got it in me. I've got all the moves. I've got the assists and everything. It's just, I know, yeah, James Wood Joinery there. Yeah, laughing your head off. It's awesome, isn't it? Oh, that's awesome. He said, I've always liked him. I wanted him and Georgie Byers to sign, but we got Hayden. Yeah, well, he's a great player, isn't he? He really is a good player. Aren't those videos good? I mean, I just love those little behind the scenes. And you can see, and Sonny Carey's so... God, I hope we don't lose him now after all this. Bloody hell. All right, media team making it a daily thing now. A Raptor and his post-match meal. Well, yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? And you can see they're buzzing, aren't they, at the moment in behind the scenes, and they're getting on really well together. I just bet it's a great place to be, and I just hope some of these. Well, I hope they fall in love with it. I don't think Afaya is gonna, he's gonna fall in love with it enough to stay. Ennis might, would you like to sign Ennis? I think he's just absolute class. I would love him to sign. Honestly, I think he's so good. So, are any of you going to Rotherham on Saturday? And do you fancy it? Post in the comments. James Wilson said, I have noticed that Ratcher always has loads of garlic bread. Indeed. I'll have to start watching these. I haven't seen these, to be honest. Are they videos or are they just posts? Gary Cruncher says, just miss yours, sorry. Yes, happy last night. 3-0 Blackpool SC win. Cheers. Yeah. Thank you very much. And what do you think about Blocko? Could have had a hat-trick in about 25. Was he on for about 25 minutes? I don't know how he didn't score that. You know the one where he chased it down the right wing and then he kind of like, they tripped him, but he managed to stay on his feet and carry on. And then he had a shot, goalie saved, but he just parried it straight back to him, didn't he? And he hit the rebound, just really to put it in an open net. He hit it over the bar. I was like, how? How? Duff Ethan says, loving the new media team this season. May seem very Gen Z of me to say, but I feel like we're always needed a TikTok. Yeah, well, they brought in It's Ramos at George because that's like his goal in life from school is to be in media. That's what he wants to do, and he knows a bit about cameras and filming, and he's doing some excellent work, and it just gets the atmosphere so well, doesn't it? I love that angle. The North is just electric, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen the words to this, the Bloxham chant. We couldn't hear that from the South. I went on a view from the tower. I actually posted, because somebody posted the words, and I didn't think it actually worked. Let me just see if I can find my post on that, because I need to know if these are the words to it. Let's just go to a view from the tower. Yeah, I'll see if I can see it. Yeah, so somebody posted that Mark GT said it goes something like, when marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway, Tommy Bloxham running down the wing, scoring goals makes the Blackpool sing. But it doesn't really go because the song, the last line, so like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, works with, Tommy Bloxham running down the wing. It's 9 syllables, but then you get to the last line, and the last line of the song is hold me close, sway me more, and that it's just 6 syllables. So it should be scoring goals. So I said, would it be like scoring goals makes us sing, or makes me sing, or we all sing, or we will sing? And when you actually sing that line, when you sing that thing makes me sing, you're straight back into where marimba rhythm. So it just goes round and round and round. And those are my favourite songs. And if we're doing that, but we need to get the words right. And I need to get the words right. So is that the words? Are they right in that last line being scoring goals makes the Blackpool sing, which is 8 syllables, as opposed to hold me close, sway me more? It's just 6 syllables, isn't it? Scoring goals makes the Blackpool sing. Yeah, it's 8 syllables, so it doesn't work, does it? Makes me sing. Right, okay, makes me sing, yeah. Well, that's it then, isn't it? That's bloody brilliant, isn't it? Makes me sing. That works. So I corrected somebody. I was right. So yeah, scoring goals makes me sing, and then you're back round again, aren't you? So when marimba rhythms, it's the only thing with that song is it's a real tongue twister, isn't it? When marimba rhythms start to play, it's a tough line to sing. But if the North can do it, it's great. And I love. I love songs that go round and round and round and round. They can just keep going on and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, he does straight away. He deserves a song, doesn't he? And I like the fact that now, we have that referee song based on the Ennis song at the same time, which is, shit refs again. Shit refs again. Shit refs again. Ole, ole. Shit. And that just goes on and on. So, if we ever really, if we get another blooming rough referee and the North are at him and they're just singing that round and round and round, it will be horrendous to be the referee. Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. James Ward Joinery says Ennis may be thinking about it. Read something that there will be talks with Stoke for Ennis. They're on the end of Tangerine TV, mate, at the end. Oh, right, okay. So it's actually like on the official, because I don't believe anything I read on The View from the Tower from people in the know, because nobody ever knows. Raptor loves his chicken burgers too. Good old Raptor. Yeah, they're just doing a great job on it, and these things are wonderful. They just bring you joy, don't they? I mean, they just bring you joy. Right, okay. I found Sonny Carey's goal from this great angle that I love. Let me just set that up for you. It's just, from this angle, it's wonderful. Right, here we go. Oh, how good is that? In fact, it's so good. I'm going to play it twice. Just like, it's so good. I've got to play. I can't just watch it once. I've been watching this all day, to be honest. It's so good. Right, here we go. From that angle again. It's just, oh my God. And I tell you what, if you watch Fletch there, he's just superb. And how he knows, because he's like behind him, Sonny Carey, isn't he? So he's like brought it down, and Sonny Carey's coming from behind him now, whether there was a little shout and he heard him, but he just knocks it forward, just the perfect pace for him to run onto, and he's like behind him, and he doesn't know he's there, so he puts the perfect ball to him, and Sonny Carey doesn't even smash it, does he? He just places it in that far side. It's an absolute, oh God, that angle, it's Dream Street, man. Honestly, it's so good. Yeah, Karamoko's song. Yeah, of course, it just went round and round and round, didn't it? I mean, that was a great song, it was, and that's the only problem with songs for players. Songs for players, if they're only on loan, you can't sing them anymore, can you, when they've gone? And it's a shame, yeah. Yeah, I think we all miss Dembele's song, but there's nothing else there's nothing else goes with it, does it, Dembele? I don't know. Is there another player? I don't know. But anyway, what do you think of that goal? I mean, are you like me? Do you like these like other angles? Because I just love this angle. Looking at the north, seeing it all go up as and looking across the west and just seeing it go up, it's just amazing. Right, we have a few more comments to come in while we're waiting for it. I do have somewhere. I do have Steve Bruce. Yeah, the Patino song was great as well, wasn't it? I mean, it became like a meme, didn't it? It was so good. I mean, everybody was effing P&E, weren't they? All over the bloody country. It became a meme to hate Preston, to hate P&E. Right. Hopefully you'll post a few more comments in while I just show you Steve Bruce on Radio Lancaster on X and his interview on there. Let's see what he had to say on there.
Steve Bruce, fantastic victory, great 4 days.
Yeah, we couldn't have wished for a better 4 days, could we? We've played against two of the top teams above us and beat them convincingly. So, yeah, fair play to the players. They've responded to what we wanted and rose to the challenge of it and give ourselves a squeak.
Some big exhibitions of energy levels out there. How do they keep going?
Well, we pride ourselves on the work rate of the team. Thankfully, we've got people who can cover big distances. I thought Sonny Carey again today, and Albie and Evo were terrific in the middle of the pitch. And when we've got the threat up the front like we have, and the ability to change with something coming off the bench, makes us a very, very decent team at the minute. We're in good form, right at the right time.
Bit of a stalemate first half, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, we didn't really. We were a bit too anxious. We wanted to try and put the ball forward maybe too quickly. To be fair, they played a high line and kept catching us offside, and one or two tweaks at half time, and just to be a little bit more patient. But in the second half, we could have scored 5 or 6 again, and we're very, very good at on the transition. Got players with pace, and Blocko could have scored a hat-trick coming on from sub. So I'm delighted for them. As I said, we've worked extremely hard to get us in with this situation we're in. We've still got every chance. We know if people have got a game in hand, but the real most important part of the season, we've put back-to-back victories against teams around us, which can only help.
You were running very hot start of the second half, weren't you?
They were, yeah. I mean, when they get confident. Yeah, we needed the first goal. How often do we see that? You need the first goal, and once they've done that, then they've got to come out a little bit more. And it was a thoroughly convincing victory, especially the second half.
Great finish from Sonny.
Well, Sonny's been in really terrific form, and looks as if he's enjoying his football. He's full of energy and full of life, and he's been rewarded with the goals too. So I'm delighted for him again.
And before Reading had a chance to clear their head, Ollie Casey pops up with one.
Yeah, and doing fist bumps at the end, I believe, as well, isn't he? So I'm delighted for the big guy. He's in the right position at the right time and stuck it away. Good for him. And
at 2-0, you managed the life out of them, didn't you? You didn't give them a sniff.
Yeah. Well, that's what really pleased me. We've sat back into a shape and made it difficult and play on that counter-attack. And when you've got the likes of Bloxham and CJ, we can't afford to defend a little bit deep and hit them. And as I said, we could have, with a bit more clinical, we could have been 5 or 6, but look, can't be greedy. We'll settle for 3.
And the third in itself, you had a couple of bites at it, but once it fell into Sonny's area.
I think once it happens to Sonny, then I think we all knew what was going to happen with it. The way he's playing at the moment, I expected him to score.
The 2 results will raise more than 1 or 2 eyebrows around the top of that division, won't they?
Well, we've given ourselves an outstanding chance at the right time. I've been saying a long time now, since Christmas really. We've looked a very, very decent team, and if everybody stays well, I can't reiterate as well the people behind me who brought 2-3 in January have proved shrewd signings, and delighted for them too, because we made a big call. We made big calls in January. Thankfully, at the moment, it's paying off.
Steve Bruce, fantastic victory, great 4 days.
Well, there we are. Absolutely. We just love him. Sorry, there's been a few comments going on while I've been watching that one. I've been watching that, but yeah, honestly. Right, so our most Patino song was last thing. Duff Ethan says, never thought highly of Carey, even first half of the season. I didn't know why he was playing, but 2025, he's been on fire. And easily my favourite player. I think there's a lot of people out there eating humble pie over Sonny Carey, and it just shows you when he's actually played in a position that he excels in, it. And he is the role that Steve Bruce has given him. He's obviously looked at him and thought, yeah, there's a play here, and he is like the most amazing signing we've ever signed in like January, isn't he? He's kind of that thing, isn't he? But the worry is that's it. It's going to end. He's going to go on a free because we've just let him go on a free, and it's so sad. I just hope I hope he signs. I don't know, but he's been out in the wilderness, and he's not had the greatest time at Blackpool. A lot of fans have been on his back and stuff. I mean, we're all loving him now. But we would have been loving if he'd been playing like this all the way through. He would have been an absolute legend, and I just hope he stays to become that legend. And it'd be sad if we lose him, because I agree, we're not going to get anybody as good as him. Cal Seasider says the atmosphere after Sonny's opener was superb. Yes, indeed it was. It was great. James Ward joining me. Loves the angles, mate. Great shout. Did you get video? I was walking out from the North at Bolton game. I sent it on Insta. I've just had a look at it. To be honest with you, Insta, I never look at it because I don't. Since I lost my Instagram account, you know, I had about 2,500 people following me on Instagram, and somebody hacked my account. It was when I went to the Barnsley game away, and somebody said, oh, I got a message saying, have you seen your account's been hacked? And I looked on, and somebody hacked it, and they sent out, like, I don't know, these bloody things to win a holiday or something, just to everybody on my account. Somebody complained about it. Instagram blocked my account, and then I had to send a thing in where I had to take a photograph of myself and with my date on everything. I sent it in, and they still wouldn't give it me back. So I've never got it back. So I had to start leecharlestv too, which has never really taken off because I just lost a bit of interest after all the work I put into it, and it's a shame. So I forget about Instagram, to be honest. So I didn't see them at the time, but I had plenty. You know what I mean? I have so much footage. Honestly, I have to get. You know, it's great to send me. I'll have a look at it for sure. But to try and fit it in all the stuff I've got. I can't even fit all my own stuff in these videos half the time. I do video a lot. Trust me, it takes me a long time to go through it all and pick out the best bits, and that's half the thing. I don't just put it on raw and I cut everything and find the best bits. And Kel Seasider says, I just want to be Steve Bruce's mate. Seems like a lovely fella. Indeed he does. For those of you that's watched the video, there's a couple of things. I'm still waiting actually for somebody to say something about my that. Nobody has. I thought it looked really good, and like nobody said. And the other thing I like is when Bestie's going, honestly, he was going absolutely ballistic about his handball. You know what I mean? He's like, handball, he's going, that's mental. You know, he's up in arms, and you can hear him shouting on the video, can't you? I just started laughing. I just said, what was that? Was that handball, Best? Do you think that was handball? And he sat down, he said, I don't know. Because it's like 110 yards away. And it was just so funny, honestly. It's probably the funniest scene I've filmed between us, but there will be more because I don't know why I've never twigged on this before. You know, we've all been going to the football for bloody years together, you know what I mean? And we have this banter all the time at the matches. And I think what's happened is with getting the Osmo Action 5 Pro that I got, it will record for like 2 hours without having to change a battery, where my little ZV-1's like running out of battery in about 20 minutes. I'm having to swap batteries all the time. So I was always very conservative about like what I'd be filming, you know what I mean? I didn't want to film too much because I was always conscious I'd go through like 6 batteries I used to take with me. But this Osmo Action, I just have like it's done every game on one battery, but I have a spare, so if it did, it would have another like 2 hours of video, so I can record like loads of stuff, which I do, but then it just makes my job a little bit harder because I've got to go through long clips. But I can find some really funny stuff in that because I'm recording a little bit behind the scenes, and I like the behind the scenes, and I'm hoping that you do as well, because it's all right, you know, talking to camera all the time, but it's really good to see the sort of stuff that we're getting up to and things that we do, like the force field that we've done for years and years in the arm field. That used to be, you know, we did christen it in the end, the arm field, force field. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, I hope you are. Conor Rowan says the under-18s have been defeated in the final by Bolton. Disappointed but proud of the boys. That's sad. Yeah, that's a shame. They nearly did it, but they got to the final, which is great. Andrew Bush is here. He's a Bolton fan. Very tight playoff places now. My team's in 6th place, Bolton. Blackpool, another great side. Well, it's yours at the moment, Andrew, to lose because you are in the driving seat. We can only hope that you falter, but if you carry on going, you're in the playoffs and we're not. So you have got that on us. You've got a 3-point lead on us, and you're also got a game in hand on us. So at the moment, you're in the driving seat, but we're breathing down your neck. Conor Ann says, up the mighty pool, some game yesterday. Rotherham is absolutely huge now. We win that and we are right in it. Will be tough though, as they have a new manager boost. Love the new chants ringing around the north. Yeah, and we have been, I have been going through the songs, so if you want to go back, the words to it and everything else, because we didn't really hear that in the south. But it's a song that needs to go, and the north have got to get very musical if they're going to sing that song correctly, because it's it's a bit of a, you know, it's not an easy sing. Connor Ruan says, very disappointing attendance on a lovely night and a huge game, but everybody that was there did their bit. Sonny Carey contract renewal has to be priority. Won't get a better player in this league. It was 27 quid last night, apparently. I don't know if that's true, but they really cocked up on prices this year and priced people out and annoyed a lot of people. And, you know, Bolton was a big derby game. You're always going to get a bigger attendance. But even so, it still was poor for Bolton, really, because they brought 2,000. It was 11,000 something. So we still weren't 10,000. And, you know, the seasons before we've had 11,000 season ticket holders or near enough, haven't we? So we're way, way down. You know, we're way down on where we should be. And it's a shame. I mean, it's a shame the seasons come so late. You know, the runners come so late. If it could have come, you know, if we'd have started winning at home instead of drawing at home, like after Christmas, we'd be promoted more or less by now, and the place would be bloody buzzing. But it's just coming late, and a lot of people still don't believe because we're not in them yet. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of work to be done, and we need to win all the last 6 to do it. We've got to, because there's no way we're going to pull it back if we don't win them all. You know, we are relying on teams losing, and if we don't win all our games, then I don't think we've got a prayer. And there's some really tough games that are coming up. You know, like I said, we've got Rotherham away. We never win there. We've got Birmingham coming up. We've got Wrexham coming up. You know, those are the big games. We've got to beat Birmingham and Wrexham, and that's not going to be easy. Well, we have watched the players' reactions. I've shown the video, and yes, I agree with you. If it shows how close-knit the group are, I absolutely love them. Some class characters in there. One of my favourite teams we've had in years. Yeah, they are becoming that, aren't they? They are becoming a team that we're starting to get to love, and that's because there's a lot of work being done by the media team. I'm going to praise them, as you know, for what they're doing, because they are creating that little bit of love for them. And when you see them as happy as they are, you can't help but kind of fall in love with it all, can you? And you know, there are some really funny characters. Sonny Carey is actually brilliant, isn't he? Oh, it was for the Ennis song, to get it back in my head. Well, I know the Ennis song. You just like me to sing it. Ennis again, Ennis again, Ennis again, ole ole. So yeah, so oh, you love me, click. There we are. You see, at least somebody noticed. I think it's somebody must notice it surely, because it just got me there in a I don't know. James Ward, Joy said you laughed with pride when I saw that you did that. Great. Well, post in the comments on the video if you do. Let me know, because I think, nobody's even bloody watching it. If nobody's noticed that and nobody's commenting on it, I think nobody's, you know, loads of people. It's really weird, really, because it's a football thing. A lot of people will post and say something like, the boys played really well. What a fantastic, night out of the football last night. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they like the video. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was doing a video about anything else, you'd be commenting on on like, did you like my video? Do you know what I mean? Did you enjoy the video? What did you like about it? The comment section is to kind of tell me, what you didn't like, what you did like. I mean, I had a guy on the last live stream that I did. He's deleted his post now, and it's a shame because I was going to answer him, but he just wrote to me. He just said, "I haven't watched your videos for a while." I thought, he said, "I tried this one." He said, "But I won't be watching anymore." That was it. That was the comment. You know what I mean? I haven't watched you for a long time, but I thought I'd give it a watch, and I won't be watching anymore. And I was going to reply to him, and I was going to say, well, yeah, there's loads of videos that I don't like, and I don't waste my time watching stuff I don't like. So if you don't like it, then I don't blame you for not watching it. The only difference between him and me is that I don't post on every video that I don't like saying I don't like your video and I'm not watching it ever again. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? You don't need to if you don't watch much of it, and you're obviously not my market. I'm not bothered. It's a bit like when I'm DJing. If I'm DJing and there's like the party's going really wild, but there's a couple in the far corner and they're not like dancing and they're not coming over and asking for any music and they're just chatting in the corner, yeah? They might be having a terrible time because I'm not playing a Rod Stewart song or something, you know what I mean? And I'm playing something completely different. But I don't know what those two people in the corner who are not dancing, who are just talking, I don't know what they like. I can't guess it. So I don't bother with them. You know what I mean? I just focus on the people that are having a good time. And it's the same with somebody like that who posts in the thing, I don't watch your videos. I watched this one, but I'm not watching anymore. I'm not bothered about him. I couldn't care less because I don't know what he wants. Do you know what I mean? But I know when I do stuff and people like you come in the comments, then I know that you like it. But if you're all coming in the comments and saying this bloody stream's absolute garbage, Lee, can you talk about something else? Then I would. So all these things, you know, the comments on the videos are there for you to tell me what you liked, what you're bored of, you know, what you want to see more of. And if you help me by telling me what you like about the videos and the best bits and, you know, all that sort of stuff, then I can make better videos for what you people like. And if you're commenting on the videos, you're the ones that I am bothered about. You're my family, if you know what I mean. You're the people that, you know, are important to me. The people that don't watch my channel, I'm not bothered about them. They're not my, you know, they're not my clan, are they? You know, they're not the people that. Conor Ross says, bestie is class. Yeah, he is. It's true. We used to have that. We haven't done it for ages. The Lucky Chuddy, you know, the Lucky chewing gum that Bestie used to bring. You know, she used to, because Jane used to bring a Lucky Arrow, and Bestie had his Lucky Chuddy. It was his thing against Jane and her Lucky Orange Arrow. And it was but lucky sometimes, the Chuddy, and he just came out with it. You know, we were still 0-0. He said, Lucky Chuddy, we'll try that. So I was like, yeah, give me a Lucky Chuddy. And we scored literally from that moment he gave me. I was trying to get a little bit of B-roll. I'm thinking I need some, like, you know, some crowd. So I was filmed the crowd there and I filmed the crowd there. And then I can pull that in sometimes to like break it up a bit. And then I filmed a bit. And as I'm filming Steve Bruce and getting close on him, they bloody scored, didn't they? And I kind of, you know, I missed it, but you actually see the West go up, you know, and then you see the person in front of me jumping up. But yeah, but it was all down to Lucky Chuddy, and then obviously we just talked about it, and then as we talked about it, they scored again, and then Bestie goes, Lucky Chuddy, and you're like, yeah, absolutely, and it is really good, isn't it? It's miles better in it. I think it's better. I mean, I get bored of listening to myself all the time, you know, saying the same thing. If I'm just talking to camera, it's pretty boring. But when there's a bit of banter, and Pickle's brilliant, isn't he? He just says it right, really. I always think, God, you know, yeah, I agree with you, Pickle. He says it so much better than me half the time. Loving the trio, thank you, Connor. I know, if only bloody Wigan had held on for a draw, we could have only been 2 off the. I know. I was so sick when I got that news. So somebody's just telling me at the end of the video, you can see a guy's coming up to me, and I must admit, I left him blind, so I just faded it out. Bolton, 30 quid a ticket. Well, that's the thing. If people have just paid 30 quid a ticket, and maybe if they brought the kids as well, you know, and they, was it free? Was it free for kids on that one? So yeah, so they might come mum and dad, 60 quid, and then it's like, then another 27, and the kids will want to go again, won't they? And you've got to pay for them this time. And it's a lot of money, you know, in a cost of living crisis. And it's a shame that they've annoyed so many people who, you know, are really the core diehards. I mean, we were getting great attendances in the first season back in League One. You know, to be back in League One and getting 11,000, 12,000 all the time, home fans, was amazing. When you look back to what we used to get in League One, you know, back in the 90s and the 80s, you know, you're lucky to get sometimes 4, 5, you know, 6. There was a time when Brett Ormrod was on fire and we were selling out with 9, but that was the most you could get in. You couldn't get any more than 9 in, you know. So the attendances were great in that first year, and why they chose to ruin it all, I will never know. Honestly, I will never know. Yeah, George BSC says, I've realised that there are so many people who have just stopped going to the games this season. Yeah, and it's all because of that. Well, it's 2 reasons, really. People just couldn't stand the football that Critchley was playing, and when, we kept him on in the summer and started the season with him again, and the season tickets were coming out. People were just saying, I am not doing another year of Critch football. It's terrible, because it was really bad, wasn't it? He used to see it as something fantastic, but I used to think it's like, what the hell are you seeing, Critch? Because it is not fantastic. It's shockingly bad football, and one shot on target is not what we want to see. That, what we saw last night, that makes you come back. That's what you're paying your season ticket for, to be entertained like that. And it was entertaining. Not so much the first half, but the second half was like phenomenal, wasn't it? It was just, God, it was unbelievable. We were great defensively. We were great catching them on the break, and we could have had easily, we could have scored 5-6, because Bloxham could have had an hat-trick, and Steve Bruce is right. But yeah, people stopped going because they annoyed people about all the season ticket prices. They put the season ticket prices up for 18-year-olds and 21-year-olds. Why? I just don't know why. They're like the ones, they're the ones that make all the noise. They're the ones that are, mental about it. They're the ones that can fit in football shirts, some of the older generation can't get in them, you know what I mean? So they're your key market, and they're all the future, and they're the ones that are going to bring their future kids, and they're going to, and their kids will bring the grandkids, and they're what keeps it all going. And if you don't look after them, then you're just bonkers. And I was, before this season, it's not been so bad really, because there's not many kids around, but they were like pestering me all the time. You know what I mean? They want to be on camera, they want to be on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And there was thousands there, wasn't there? But there's not now. There's just the odd ones, darting around, but there's not the children there that were there, over the last few seasons, which I don't understand why the club have done that. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Yeah, 12 million quid in debt, so can't really give seats away, but if you're not getting people in, you're going to be more debt. Do you know what I mean? Can't give them away, but I'd rather sell 12,000 at a cheaper price than 7,000 at a more expensive price. It just doesn't make any logical sense to me to have all these empty seats everywhere, because there's no, the atmosphere is not as good when it's empty. So if you don't help the attendances go up, then you're going to just lose more money. And the longer we stay down in League One, the more money you're going to lose. There's only one way to make money in football, and that's to get a season in the Premier League. Just one season. That's all you need. One season, and don't spend any money, and you find yourself for life. And if you can keep going back in into the trough and get another 150 million and another lot of parachute payments, that's the way to do it, or you've just got to have, as a football owner, incredibly deep pockets. You think of the Birmingham City, how much they've spent this year to get out of this division. Are those guys worried about how much money they've pumped in? Because they'll have lost a fortune this year, but they're going to get all part into the Championship. And then with that sort of drive, they could, and that sort of money backing them in the Championship, they could well get into the Premier League. And if they do, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it? So you've got to keep trying to reach for the stars with it, or you'll just be down here forever. Conor Rowan says, I think half the reason people didn't buy many season tickets this year is because of Critch's football. Yeah, exactly. And he didn't sack him, and he was starting with the same thing, and it wasn't good, was it? We'd seen it for a year. It was bloody awful. We'll get lows. We'll come back next year because of Bruce's football is exciting football. Yeah, and people are loving him, aren't they? Kieran Baines, hello. Hi, Lee. Sorry I'm late to party, but finally seeing an Ipswich Town win. Our first win in 2025. Well, thank goodness for that, Kieran. But at least you're getting a bit of joy on this side. Following Blackpool as well. We're doing all right at the moment, but we're not there yet. Cosvlog said, did he? Charlie says, that's a record. Hi Lee, Cos Vlog said, if Poole get playoffs, the other three might as well not turn up. I wouldn't go that far, but 7th, 8th is definitely possible, and to rebuild for next season. Well, we're going to be around there, aren't we? It's just whether we can do it. But if we do it, it's the Blackpool way, isn't it? It's the way we do it. Conrad says, I love your videos. Don't worry. Many, many more do as well. Yeah, I know there's not as many loving them as they used to do when we were in the championship. But yeah, we're not. I'm not getting the views I was, obviously. But it's just, it's feedback generally. Just telling me things that you like about them, and then I know, because I don't know sometimes. I think, do they want to see me walking through the same entrance to the south stand every time, and do they want me, that's why I tried a few little different things last night. There would have been an end to the video, but I actually recorded the floor, and there's a big video of me walking with my camera. It's all filming seats, and then we get the camera up to say whatever we were going to say, me and Pickle, and I turn it on but turned it off. So we did the whole summary of the game. I didn't film, so that's why it ends how it ends, because I just didn't film it. And then there was for some reason there wasn't the same excitement coming out. I did film some scenes of people coming out at the end, but it just wasn't like the Bolton game where they're all coming out really giving it large against the Bolton, because there wasn't many Reading there. It was a 200, so there was nobody to really come singing out to. So it wasn't quite as good. So I just left it as that. Yes, it's always been my like superpower. I don't have many superpowers in life, but one of the things that I do have is my knowledge of music and what goes with what, and what if somebody likes something, I kind of know what they're gonna like, and it's like a superpower that I have, that I can make a party go mental if I can just, if I can start to read the people. And it's a thing I've always enjoyed doing. I just I've said before, I wish I'd have actually just carried on with DJing as the YouTube channel instead of this bloody football, which stresses me out all the time. Duff Ethan says, I feel like we've all got our own lucky charm. Mine is that every time we've won this season, me and my dad have gone through the same turnstile and he always went in front. Yes, that's it, isn't it? You get these things. I've just been in 13, so I go in 13 again. I've changed my hat from that BFC hat because I wasn't winning in that BFC hat, so I put my old blue hat back on. I've gone back to I had to put my gilet on again last night because I had it on Saturday, but I ditched the big coat because it wasn't quite as cold. But I nearly went in the big coat and just suffered because I thought, that's one. You feel like you have to wear the same pants and the same socks and the same shoes and the same underpants, put them all away in like a drawer, just bring them out again for the next one. It's a nightmare what goes through your head about what, We used to have a thing where we used to touch the door, that little shop on the corner of St. Ely's, is it? One of them, St. Ely's, is a little, like a furniture shop or something, but we always had to touch that door. And we always had to touch that door. We used to, with my dad, we always had to touch that bloody door. Just touch it for luck. Weird. Happy says, please don't suggest there is a cost of living crisis, as you sound like why would I sound like an empathy? The last thing I tell you I could give a stuff about is politics. But trust me, everything's going up. Everything is going up. And wages are not going up. And Blackpool is a town that's not got a lot, it's not a wealthy town. The people in Blackpool are not well paid. The wages in Blackpool are low, and the electric and the gas is going to go up. It's going up, so everything's going up. You go to Asda, every time you go in Asda, you think, oh my god, that was like £1 something the other day. Now it's like £2 for the same. Everything is going up, and there is a cost of living crisis. You can deny it all you want, but a lot of people are struggling, and that's not me being a politician. It's just, that's a fact. You could say, it's just a fact. Happy says, my energy bills, food, drink and fuel in my Tenerife home are much cheaper, and they all have to be imported. Yeah, well, good. I mean, and it's a lot warmer out in Tenerife as well. You don't have to heat yourself as much as you do here, and it must be nice living out in Tenerife. But you can't really talk about Blackpool from Tenerife if you don't live here. You've got to live in Blackpool to understand the situation. And the last thing I do is I don't like any politicians, any of them. I think they're all shit. A whole lot of them. In fact, if there was a box that was just vote none of the above, That's what I would. That would get my vote. None of them. Doran Tour, how are you doing, Lee? I am doing well, not as well as you, Mr. Dore, but we're winning. and that always, that always brings a smile to my face. We're playing well, but unfortunately, it's not in our hands, and we're running out of games, and we're coming with a late run. Can we get in? There's one place left, and it's between 4 teams, and they're all above us with the bottom of the 4 teams. Well, even Leyton Orient can go past us, and they're behind us because they've got a game in hand on as well. So there's a lot of teams can, but we are playing fantastic football. It's the best football we've played in years, to be honest. Probably since Holloway, really, I would say the best football that I've seen at Bloomfield Road. Exciting, creating loads of chances. We've got fast players. It's just it all looks really good, feels good, brings a smile to your face, and that's how I am and where I am at the moment. Ryan Dunmer says, I still believe. I didn't realise the teams above us have a game in hand. Yes, indeed they do. And we've only got, they've got 7, we've got 6, haven't we? But to pull those points back and have a game in hand on us as well, we are really hoping that they're all going to blow up. And you never know. I mean, who'd have thought, Leyton Orient would have got beat last night. So you never know. But Bolton getting that late equaliser was a knife in the side, really, of us, of our aspirations. But, it's not over yet, and Blackpool do this. And if we can win all 6 games, and the trouble is we never win at Rotherham, so this is like this is massive. It really is. Conor Ann says, if we do get 6, I back us against Wickham, who will finish third, or they may go past Wrexham. Wrexham have got to come here yet. There's one team I want to beat really badly, and I want to beat Wrexham because that penalty still sticks in my craw. It really does. Ryan Dummer says, the fact that Critchley is doing well at Hearts absolutely kills me, but he hasn't beat us Rangers, so silver lines, I suppose. I wouldn't even know how he's doing it. Hearts, I wouldn't follow him, and I wouldn't care less. If he does well, good luck to him wherever he goes. I'm not bothered, but he's not our manager. We've got Steve Bruce, and I'm really happy with him. And Big Dog Walker's here. Hello, Daz. He says, start with Bloxham or ease him again from the bench. Well, yeah, that's the question, isn't it? I actually think that, and I've said this earlier in the stream, that Steve Bruce is just like your dad or your granddad, saying the same thing that he said to us when we were little kids, and that is, you never change a winning team. And Critch did, didn't he? Critch changed winning teams all the freaking time, which used to annoy me. But Bruce, he's like your granddad, he's like your dad. He doesn't change a winning team. So I can't see him changing it. I can't see him dropping anybody for Bloxham at the moment, but he does know for a fact that when we're under the cosh, like we often seem to get ourselves into a position where we're defending a little bit deep late on in the game, he can bring CJ and he can bring Bloxham on, and they can break away and they can score. And that, when they come on, it's difficult for the team to keep us under pressure, because one slip up and we'll just get another goal. And we're lethal, aren't we? So, we are lethal. We could have been a bit more lethal last night, but yeah, they're good weapons to bring on. So I can see him keeping him on the bench, and also with that thing that, with his injury as well, that, they're just slowly easing himself back in. He doesn't look as quick as he did when he first came. So I think he's still maybe, not quite as sharp as he was before he got injured. But hopefully, if they just ease him in and keep taking the time with him, I think that's what they're doing with him anyway. Conor Ron says, we are the most entertaining team in the 92. If you are not entertained, you never will be. Most goals in the 92, which I find amazing, if I'm being honest, because one of the things on my standard line is that Blackpool make scoring a goal look really difficult by the fact that we have so many opportunities to score and don't, and then the other team just go down and score, is what I've said repeatedly all season. And yet we can't possibly be a team that make scoring a goal look hard, because we scored loads. But I actually think, really realistically, we just miss so many. We don't even. I was saying to Pickle in the first half, what Blackpool do is we get ourselves into really good positions. Like lots of times, we'll be in a really good position, and then it all falls apart in that last little move at the end, and it's so frustrating because if we didn't fall apart there, we would have probably scored twice as many goals we scored now, because we really do get in really good scoring positions, and for some unknown reason we blow it. We put the cross too far. There was one, who was it in the first half that just hit one in the box, and it just hit it so far it went straight out for like a throw in on the other side. That was in the first half from the right hand side as we were looking at it, out into the west. It was just like ridiculous, and all he had to do was dink it across. And so we waste a lot of stuff, but we're scoring loads, aren't we? You can't deny we're not. Kieran Bain says, does Baggett still play for the Pool? Yes, I'm happy for now. I think Ipswich will still meet you next season when you go up. We're not there yet, Kieran. We're not counting our chickens yet. But yeah, he still does play, but he's got another injury. He got a training ground injury, apparently. He just got himself back in the side, and he was looking great, and he's injured again. Yeah, the views issue is largely down to the fact that the majority of the League One teams don't have the support the Championship do. Yeah, of course. And, the teams that come are not coming with as many followers, and, the teams not coming with big attendances, and there's not as many people wanting to, away fans to watch your videos and stuff. So, yeah, sure, the views are down, but that's the frustration to me. My videos now, I'm not saying it as a braggy thing. I'm just saying that I've developed so many skills over these years that my videos are like on a whole different level to what I was putting out 3-4 years. They're just on a completely different level, and yet I can't. Where they should be going bigger, and people should be watching and saying, "Wow, God, these are like bloody amazing, these videos," but they're not, because my videos rely on Blackpool Football Club winning. Do you know what I mean? And Blackpool Football Club getting promoted. And it doesn't matter how good I make my videos, if Blackpool lose or they draw 0-0, nobody watches it, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Whereas anything else, the quality of my videos would have naturally had me having more people view me. I wouldn't be relying on anything else other than me, but my whole channel relies on them. Let you down motors, as I call it. So it is frustrating. It's so frustrating. Yeah. He's a Lancashire DJ, and he'll make you dance with oh God, I haven't listened to the Hot Pots for ages, but yeah, that is a line from with a little bit of something and a little bit of trance, isn't it? I can't remember. Oh God, what is it? With a little bit of something and a little bit of trance, with a little bit of. You'll let me know, Ryan. But yeah, that's Lancashire Hot Pots, a Lancashire DJ. I know. I mean, how close was he to that? It was about 9 out, was he, or something ridiculous? He's so frustrating. He really is. But I did beat him the other week. That's probably my one win of the season. He just gets them so right. I don't know why. Conor Ron says Ollie Casey is one of the best centre halves in the 92. On Fotmob will be extremely, extremely hard to keep him in the summer. He's definitely a future captain if he stays. I know. Was a furniture store that makes you want to shout. I fear IKEA. 2 for 2. Keep the accidental references coming. I'll knock them out the park. Yeah. Chris Webb is the worst. Who is Chris Webb? I don't know who he is. Conor says the best thing that's going on is every single team is slipping up. We are the best team in the league right now. Yeah, we are. We are right now, but we can't pass them if they all get their act together, can we? We can't get past them, and we're not guaranteed to win them all. But bloody hell, if we play like we played second half, we will win them all. If we played like that second half for the rest of the season, we will win every game, because we're just so good. We were so much better than Reading last night, and they were a good team, weren't they? When I was walking to the ground, I was nervous. I was really nervous. I could feel, my stomach was churning, and I'm going there and I'm thinking, oh God, how good are this Reading are going to be? They're not, for some other reason, they're battling even though they're in financial trouble, and that seems to be making them stronger. And I'm thinking it's going to be a really hard game, this against Reading. And I'm thinking we've already beaten 3-0 away at Reading, and so it's hard to get a double over a team. I've got all these thoughts going in my head. And I'm just thinking, surely, can we do it? Just please, can we do it? And at half-time, I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. This is it. This is the end. I was thinking at half-time, I'm thinking, if we don't turn this around the second half, it's over, you know what I mean? And we bloody did. And second half, we were just outstanding. We were outstanding. It's one of the best halves of football I've seen at Bloomfield Road in years. It was just unbelievable. We were so good. And we were great against Leyton Orient. So I don't know how we didn't beat Leyton Orient. And neither does Steve, either does he. Cat Stone says, how good is a fire? Yes. Yeah, we won't be able to keep him. He is bloody amazing, isn't he? Yeah, no, there's no getting rid of Dor. Dor's a good friend of the family. For anybody who doesn't know, Dor on tour is a Nottingham Forest blogger, and he's in the bloody Premier League now. He's Nottingham Forest, and they got all the money in the world. They're doing well, so good luck to him. Conor Oran says, I'll be a Wickham fan for the rest of the season. Just look at their fixtures. They play every single team above us in the last 7 fixtures. Do they? Oh, well, yes, I think we're all Wickham fans then, aren't we? Reading losing on Saturday versus Wickham. Yeah. Yates has just scored against the Nobbers again. I don't even know what the score is. I don't really care anyway, to be honest. I just can't believe they're just so plain vanilla, aren't they? The Nobbers. They stay in that championship, and I don't know how. There's just nothing about them, is it, that's likeable or anything. Yeah, with a little bit of techno and a little bit of trance. That's it. Yeah, techno and trance, indeed. Yeah, we have got this. Let's go. Let's hope so. Oh, Chris Webb MP for Blackpool South. I've never heard of him. Shows how much I follow politics. Right, we have one more goal to find, haven't we? Let's see if I can find it, which is the can I find it? I've shown Sonny. Which ones have I shown? Oh, the one I haven't shown is the knee slide, isn't it? From yeah, see if we can find that. Ollie Casey's goal. I did have it somewhere. Ollie Casey's goal. Yes, here we are. Let's just watch this as well. As I say, if you weren't here earlier, we've seen all these. We've seen the player reactions, but coming off the pitch. We've seen 2 Steve Bruce interviews. These are all on X, by the way. But we haven't seen the Ollie Casey goal and the Ollie Casey knee slide. So let's enjoy it. Oh, yes. How good is that knee slide from Ollie Casey? And if you go on Blackpool FC's X account, you can see the little 1 minute clip of the behind the scenes when they're all coming off. And I imagine it'll be longer on Tangerine TV, so I'm going to watch that. And by the way, I love Tangerine TV. I've said it on here loads of times. It's $1.99. It's just fantastic. The Friday night show is brilliant. The interviews are brilliant. The stuff they do down the training ground is brilliant. And the extended highlights are brilliant. If you don't have to watch the whole match, but their extended highlights shows you a lot more than you get in the little 2 minute thing. And it's honestly, if you're a Blackpool fan, it's worth £1.99 all day long. So that's it, folks. I think we'll finish on that. It was a wonderful night last night. It's been great. Talking to you all tonight. I am buzzing. That's why I'm back again. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please post in the comments if you're watching this on the rerun or after you've watched this to tell me if you enjoyed it, and do post on my videos in the comments about the video if you can. I love the video. I love the bit where, whatever, that's my favorite bit, or this is my favorite bit, or keep doing that. These are the bits that we like. And then from your feedback, because I don't get a lot of feedback. Most of the comments in the video are always about Blackpool. There was about, oh, fantastic win and all this, and we're doing well. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to make videos that you all enjoy, and I'm trying to make them as good as I can for what you like. So, I do a lot of things the same all the time. I think, do they always want to watch me walking out? Do they want me to, get the players coming out, getting a shot of Bloomfield Bear, every single time? Do you need to see that? Are you bothered about that? Would you, do you like the stuff I do before the video? Do you want me to do, because I sometimes never know whether I should do a little bit more than I do. You have to make sure that, like with YouTube especially, that if you waffle on too long at the start, people just click off. Just click off. So it's got to be, there's this thing where you just got to keep it rolling and all that. And I sometimes think, would you like to hear more? Did you like the little thing that I did in St. Anne's? Did you like the click to the ground? Just let me know. And then I do you like the behind the scenes with Pickle and Bestie, and the fun we had? The fun we had with Bestie when he was shouting for that bloody handball was hilarious. If you haven't seen that part of the video, then please do. It's it will make you laugh. It will. I know I can't please everyone, and I don't want to please everybody, but the people I do want to please are the people like you that watch my stuff. I'm not bothered about people that don't like me or they don't like the stuff I do. I don't care about, I don't worry about those people. I can't do anything about them. A lot of people make up their mind and that's it and whatever. But when I'm making videos for you guys, I want to make sure that I make videos that you like. Do you know what I mean? You like them. I only do the walkout out of that entrance on the south because somebody from Australia said, I love to watch that. I love to see that coming out. It's just, I'm in Australia and it just makes me feel great. So I put it in for Australia. You know what I mean? I put it in for them. I don't have to put that in every time, but I put it in and I'm, telling me, Australia, whatever. But I do that because somebody who watches my channel likes that. So my channel is all about, you guys. It's all about Blackpool fans. It's not, as you've noticed, it's not about filming the match, and I'd already made my decision on that before all this stupidness came in about filming the match, ridiculousness of it all, that like as if a YouTube channel affects anything that football clubs lose. It just doesn't. But, I'm all about filming the fans, getting the fans coming out, finding out what fans, think about it before the game. Those are all the bits I like to do. So I'd like to do more. I'd like to do fan reactions as you're coming out. I'd like to, if anybody has an idea on where I can go, like after the match is gone, where anybody that wants to be on, that wants to give their opinion of the game, then I will film you gladly. You can come over to me. You can, there can be a queue 100 miles long, and I'll film a whole lot of you. Everybody come up and tell me what you think. Next one, tell me what you think. Because I want to hear what you guys think, and I can't get that. That's the one thing I really would like to do, and that would be to just get your reactions after a game. That would really make me very happy. So if anybody can think of a place where I could go and stand, where you all would be happy to come and talk to me and just give your thoughts. If you want to be on camera, I know it's a bit nerve-wracking, so a lot of people don't want to come on camera, but if you do want to come on camera and, you're not bothered about waiting while I get through. My dream is to have like a nice, maybe 10 people just waiting around just to give their opinion, who are happy to come on and, and be on and, and not swearing or anything, but just giving their honest opinion of the game. And that's what I would like. Conrad says, yeah, love the behind the scenes. And what do you think of the handball? Did you see it? It's like, no, it's like 100, but it was going, honestly, if you watch it, you can hear him. He's going absolutely ballistic about it. Honestly, he was up in arms. He was out of his seat. He was shouting, screaming as loud as he could at like something 110 yards away and sat down. He had no idea whether it was or it wasn't, but it is, honestly, it's comedy gold. It's one of the best things, one of the funniest things I've ever filmed. Blackpool channel for Blackpool fans, indeed. I'm not going to Rotherham, and I am an unlucky. The last time I went to Rotherham, we lost, and deep in. I think I've been to Rotherham twice actually, and lost there twice. And and they don't like YouTubers. I had a lot of hassle where I was there last time, where some blooming like old bat that was a real Jobsworth bloody steward came over to me and she said, you're not allowed to film. And I was just filming the disabled facility at the time. I was just saying, look at these fantastic disabled facilities. And she come over right at that moment and said, sorry, you can't film. They've noticed you up over there that you've had your camera out and you've been filming. And I'm like, well, I don't film the match. I don't film all the match. I might try and get a goal if I can, but I don't film the match. It's not what we're about. Anyway, so we had a big mess. They were just horrible and just awkward, and the whole place is terrible. So I won't be going there. Conor says, I love everything about the vlogs, the videography before the game, the build-up, the chats. It's just brilliant, mate. Right, well, I'll carry on doing it for you, Conor. I'll carry on doing all those things. Some good interviews on the channel as well. Yeah, former players. We need to get more of those, but the more I found all that so frustratingly hard this season. Conor says, definitely have to go to the Armfield after every game. That's where everybody's willing to get on camera after a few pints. Yeah, the only trouble is with the Armfield is I've been there a few times and nobody I've walked through. I've tried to get people's eyes and attention. We'd have to. I'm happy to come across the Armfield and I'm happy to do it, but we need to do it somewhere where people are happy to talk to me. Whether it's in that, I think the perfect place would be as you come and then up the stairs and then turn left, and then I could film you with the ground behind, which looks really beautiful. You know what I mean? It looks really nice. And I could film, you could stand that way around and I could just film people with all the lights and everything lit up behind. That'd be good. If I could arrange and people knew I was going to be there and I don't have to hunt around the Armfield Club, and it's very loud in there and I've got all this problem with music strikes and stuff. So if you want to do the Armfield, that's where I was thinking. Let me know if you think that's a good idea, and then you can all start coming on. Tommy97 says you do a great job. Thank you, Thomas. If he does a great, Kieran Baines says you would go on camera. Well, that's great. You can do when you come up. You can be on. Duff even says, I think the Armfield statue would be a good place to stand as most people cross through there. Yeah, but they're all sort of just wandering past. I've tried standing there and people just wander past. But yeah, the Armfield statue maybe. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a poll. On this video, I will do a poll. Where would you like me to stand at the end of a game where I can do interviews, right? And I'll give you a few suggestions. Armfield Club, Armfield statue, somewhere on Bloomfield Road, kind of near, Rowley's, the corner flag, somewhere like that. I'll maybe give 3 or 4 ideas, and then just whichever one wins. And also another question will be, would you like to, come on and give me an opinion? Elaine Wheatley said, hi Lee, great win last night. Your vlogs are top. Love watching. See you YouTube at the next one. Okay, right. Thank you very much, Elaine. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. We always lose at Rotherham. I know. Kieran Semi-Charles says, so you have to keep your trousers on. Do I think I will go to Wigan? Well, this is the thing. Every time I go to Wigan, we lose. Every time I go to Wigan, and we're always brilliant at Wigan. The fans turn up to Wigan, don't they? We take thousands there. They always seem to bloody beat us. Conor says, hope by the time I go to Wigan, there's something to play for. Well, indeed, yeah. I feel like I would have to go to Wigan if we're in with a chance, but I have this feeling that I could curse us. Elboy says, even if we don't make the last place of the playoffs, Steve Bruce has set a great benchmark for next season. Key is keeping him motivated and supported. Yeah, he's doing a great job, and we haven't, it's still on. Semi-Charles says, Blackpool to make the playoffs, get in, would it? Nobbers lost 2-0 to our good mates Derby. I will never ever forget that game a couple of years ago where we both changed. Yeah, the FA, yeah. I mean, it's one of my biggest videos as well. Because I was we were actually in the hospitality for that one, so it was perfect. No, we have the history with Derby, obviously, is when we were doing the boycott and we were obviously all protesting outside the ground, not going in. The Derby fans, when they came to play us, when we were in the boycott, stood with us. They stood side by side with us, and they stood with us against the Oystons, and not many clubs did. Not many clubs joined in, but Derby did. Big. Really big. They really joined in it, and we've never forgotten them for that. And that's why that particular game was as special as it was, because they were going down. They were already relegated, and we, we like them. They're a friend of, they are. They did something that we will never ever forget, and they now equally don't forget us for that day, because we created the jump around with, if you're going down thing, didn't we? We actually started that song for them. Yeah, Sammy Charles is one of his mates is a Wigan supporter, so you generally root for them to see. Well, you better not be doing this year, Sammy. They're going nowhere. They don't need the win. We do. Yeah, Conor, they are really one of the most boring clubs in the whole. They just are. The bloody kit's bland. The stadium, although it's bigger than ours, it's kind of bland in it. So the whole thing's bland. Preston's bland. It really is, isn't it? It's just such a bland place, and yet they stay up there, don't they? Yeah, Brighton did they? I don't remember, but anyway, we're not playing Brighton at the moment, but we're not playing Derby either. But yeah, that's why we're good friends with. That's good. That's why we are good friends. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back here on Sunday I'll be back on Sunday. I don't like doing them when we lose, so hopefully we win, and I'll be back on Sunday, and it'll make another great weekend, because it's just fabulous at the moment, being a Blackpool fan. But we all know it's got this worry all over the top of it, hasn't it? Where will these teams, let us, even if we win all our games, will we get in? I think if we do win all our games, I think we've got a great chance of getting in. But it's whether we can do it or not. Thanks a lot, Connor. Thank you, everybody. I will see you guys in the next one. Come on the pool. Up the mighty pool.